a couple of my mom's friends, they went to the show, and they're like, after they came back, they're like, Jennifer, have you seen? She's like, no, we've been meaning to go, and they were like, this show is a cult.
Yo, guys, what is up, and welcome back to the Teen Finance Podcast. Today, me and Sam have an absolute banger planned for today. We're
Not
going
gonna lie,
late
bro.
night vibes.
I like these. Maseo and I were talking. We find the late night episodes to actually, like, although it's later in the day and we're supposed to be like sleepy, I think there's more energy. I don't know why. Like early morning, it's just different. I think for put together episodes like what have the past couple ones have been, like when we did the habit building one and the New Year's stuff.
Yeah.
All of that is fine for the morning. But for the episode planned today, basically any episode that arbitrage is involved in, I feel like we need to do it late night when we're a little bit more tired, a little bit loopy. It would be really good if we were like drunk or something. I feel like that would be the best.
Our sanity just needs to be all the way down.
But yeah, I don't know. I think the energy gets a little bit better when we do it late at night. So since we've done non-normal episodes, or I don't know, just more structured stuff for the past few episodes, not like our standard formula of just YOLOing random topics.
Yeah.
I've been building up stuff. I'm dripping wet right now, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so ready for this episode. We got some I'll just tease what we have going on. I got a cult that's hiding in plain sight.
Okay.
And I guarantee like 90% of the people who listen to this podcast have seen advertising for this and they don't know what it's about. And the other thing,
Okay.
I got hair transplant arbitrage coming up. It's gonna be crazy. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What do you have, Maseo?
All right, I watched this like 2-hour long documentary about the scam, like the scams behind the postal industry, and I kind of thought it'd be boring, but I was like, you know what, maybe there's some gold in here, dude. It's like insane.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
It's like actually kind of crazy.
I have ideas about what I have ideas. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna let you do it. All right. What's the optimal way to start this? You also have stuff about our favorite,
yeah.
our favorite little arrested person out there.
You know what's kind of funny is for all of our Instagram clips with hashtag Andrew Tate, the descriptions got deleted.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go through all of them and I had to replace them all.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore. What about the TikTok video the Instagram video where he's dancing?
It's still up.
Okay.
I guess.
It's not even him. All right. I want to save hair transplant arbitrage for the end because I feel like I want to wait until our energy is all the way up and until we get to that. Maseo, I'm willing. Do you want me to start off with the cult, and then that'll lead into Andrew Tate, which is another cult? No.
Yeah, right. There we go.
Have you seen the posters for Shen Yun? Okay, China before communism. Have you seen those billboards anywhere? Those posters? I feel like I see them all the time.
I feel like I have.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the dancing performances?
Is it like a show? Yeah, the dance he performs. Yeah.
Yes.
I was in the mall the other day and some lady literally followed me down the hallway like trying to sell me tickets to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you here's a picture of it on my phone. That's
that's what it was. Yeah.
It looks like. I think I saw there's a ton of billboards of it in San Jose. I saw like posters of it in like a Pizza My Heart in Capitola.
Really?
Basically, it's everywhere, and it sounds cool. It's like Shenyang, China before communism. If you're like if you grew up in the United States, you like hate communists. So this is like totally perfect. For me, an Asian American who is like my people are from China. This is totally. I was like, okay, this could be cool. And my mom was actually like, my mom and my uncle and stuff. They were like, oh, we should go watch this as a family. Get my grandparents to go. It'll be really cool. But we never got around to doing it. And then more recently, a couple of my mom's friends, they went to the show and they're like, after they came back, they're like, Jennifer, have you seen Shen Yun? She's like, no, we've been meaning to go. And they were like, this show is a cult. And I so I dug into it a little bit more. My mom told me about this, and she said that her friends were telling stories of how most of the show was just promoting, strong anti-atheist sentiment, anti-evolution, anti-science. So I'm like, all right, this is interesting. I want to dig into it more. So Shenyun is put on by the Falun Gong religious and political group. All right. So
Okay.
these people it's like a religious group that's persecuted in China. They're very strongly against the Chinese Communist Party and the Chinese government. Of course, no one should be persecuted. So this is like terrible stuff. The thing is, I don't know if I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I'm not sure if this religious group is good itself, and it's kind of cult-like, right? So it depends on where you're coming from, but me personally, I believe in evolution. So like all of these like very very strong like atheists are really terrible people, anti-evolution, all these things. That's like something that you don't go into the show expecting. You're expecting just a dance performance, but the whole thing is promoting this religious and political group, right? So it's kind of it's propaganda. That's what it is. I mean, of course, propaganda can be good, bad for different people, all that. It's undeniably. I mean, propaganda is everywhere. The United States has its own propaganda. Everything is like propaganda in some way. But I mean, this is definitely trying to convince you of certain things. So by definition, I mean, there you go. So that's what the show is. You don't go into it expecting that. And I'm like, it's just crazy that this has gotten like everywhere. I mean, you see these posters or these billboards, and like it's literally in every corner of, California right now. And it all got me. I was just like, I was seeing this. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. There's like a cult putting on performances. The first thing came to mind: how much money do they make? I just wanted to know.
I was just thinking.
So they're a nonprofit, right? But as we know from experience, digging through, college boards, finances, and stuff, nonprofits can, still make a lot of revenue and then just put it into different things like, executive payouts and, adding more money to their bank account. So yeah, that's what got me wondering. So a lot of their finances aren't public, and the furthest that we can, the latest, most recent ones that I was able to find were from 2018. And in 2018, they made $37.5 in revenue, $37.5 million in revenue, with only $11.5 million in expenses. And then that, nets them a $26 million profit. And the interesting thing is they also have $122 million in assets. And this is just for Shenyun. This is not for the Falun Gong religious group that's funding a lot of this, But I'm like, if this is 2018, when I didn't see any of their marketing spend, more recently, when people actually started going to, I hadn't heard about any of this years ago. Had you? Like, I didn't see any of this.
No, that's new to me.
So with the more recent developments, with their higher advertising spend and more people actually hearing about it and going, I can only imagine that their revenue has easily crossed $100 million. But also with it, I mean, you see their billboards and their advertisements everywhere. So their marketing spend also has probably gone up a lot. So I don't know how much the profit has changed. I'm sure it's gone up a significant amount. I just found it all really interesting, basically, that, this thing that might seem so innocent at first definitely has a political agenda. Whether you agree with it or not is a totally different thing. But yeah, I mean, they're making bank, dude. Like 37 million back in 2018. It's gotta be over like, 100, 200, 300 million dollars recently, now that, people are seeing about this and actually going. So I don't know. I thought about, like, seriously, we were thinking about going. Like,
We should go do some recon.
You think we should go to the show?
Yeah.
I think maybe so. Some investigative
I don't think we're gonna
journalism.
get brainwashed. Like, we
Yeah.
can just go.
Maybe we should pull up. So I think tickets are like $120 per person, so it's not cheap. So they're making money off of this, like, for real.
They have to be.
But yeah, I mean, some people think it's just like, really cool. I've heard the dancing and stuff is super impressive, but it's all like layered in, like all this like political stuff and these messages that they're trying to push are definitely like layered into it. So yeah, I mean, maybe we pull up. Maybe this is like maybe this is a new milk part 2. Maybe we just say we're gonna do it and then we never do it. Hey, by the way,
Episode 200.
episode 100, we're gonna actually circle back on new milk, and then episode 200 we'll circle back on Shenyang at some point. But
4
I don't
years
know.
into the pod.
It's I think both aspects, the underlying messages of it and the financial side, both super interesting. I didn't know they were making so much money, but just the whole thing of like them being so in your face everywhere. I don't know.
That's because like when you're there, do they like are they actively pushing it on you? Like their
Yeah, the whole
religion or
performance.
whatever, like,
well,
the
so
whole
according to my mom's friends, though, and also like articles from multiple different things, like the Insider and Washington Post, one of those big newspapers. The whole time, you're just getting like very strong anti-science. Evolution isn't real. Atheism is bad. Stuff like that. That messaging is there throughout the performance, and I don't. Maybe I'm remembering this wrong, and this would be really bad to mess up. So take this with a grain of salt. I'd give myself a 50% hit rate on this was actually said. I don't know. My mom might have said that her friends said that you couldn't really leave mid-performance.
No way.
That sounds very familiar. I could be making this up, so take it with a grain of salt, because that could be totally like throwing them under the bus or something that's not real. Looking at, you might not be able to leave mid-performance, or at least pressured not to leave, because I think my mom's friends would have been pretty like, not vibing with it, and I think they might have tried to leave and you're just pressured not to, something like that. So maybe we pull up. Maybe that's just the solution. We need to see this with our own eyes, relying too much on...
I think we sneak in.
Sneak in.
Would it be that hard?
Yeah. No, not for us. What do you mean? We just, maybe we don't even need tickets. We just drop the Teen Finance black card and they let us in.
And they hear it like rattle on the floor.
And then it's like, all right, go right in. Yeah, no, I think it'd be interesting to see for investigative reasons. But yeah, it's just hiding in plain sight. That's all. I mean, it's interesting for anyone who's seen these things and just not knowing too much about it. There you go.
That's crazy. Like, so yeah. It's just like cool. It's just like hidden in plain sight. You hit it on the head, but
I'm okay. I'm calling. I don't want to like put my own beliefs into it too much. They are persecuted in China, which is of course terrible. No one should be killed for their beliefs. But yeah, it's just interesting. Huh. It's interesting stuff for sure.
Well, another scam is the postal industry.
Really? The postal industry is a scam?
The postal industry. So, so for any industry, right, especially one that's moving such large masses and controlling basically the entire world economy, there has to be ground rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
IRS, government, they're all a part of it. Well, the IRS isn't really a part of it. And neither is the government. They have very little control over all these postal companies. It's a group called the International Postal Corporation. Okay? And this is a, non-profit, as we've learned, that manages all of these companies, and they do like quality control, they do like automation control. So basically, they don't allow the factories to automate so they can employ more people, which I guess is good and bad in its own way.
Good for jobs, Yeah. It is good. Yeah, there's good and bad sides to that.
But I guess the failure rate of a human for sorting packages is like 8%. So that means that 8% of the time packages go to the wrong places.
Yikes.
Which is, it's happened to me like twice, which I guess makes sense with the 8% odd, but that's a crazy high number.
Yeah.
But the whole thing behind the International Postal Company, right, is it is owned by people. You want to guess who these people are?
I don't know.
All the postal companies.
So just like a coalition or something that they put together. And
exactly. And so when the postal companies get audited for somehow losing millions or billions, their company, the International Postal Corporation, comes for them, audits them, and then nothing ever happens with it.
So it's they investigate themselves. Basically.
They investigate themselves.
I
Exactly.
Get it. Okay. So
And-
what are these postal companies that are in this? Like, it's not USPS or anything. That's run by our government.
No, it
like,
is USPS. It's USPS. There's like Canada. There's Postal Canada, Royal Mail. The only one I didn't see that was notable was like UPS and FedEx. Those two I think are privately
Separate.
governed somehow. But
I thought it was like I was suspect. I thought you were my guess was completely wrong. I thought you were gonna go like the whole DHL AirTag shipping route stuff, which is interesting within itself. But no, this is cool too.
Well, because that all the DHL stuff routes back to the humans sorting packages.
Mhm.
And did you see the video of the guy that got to tour the factory?
He what?
He toured the factory and like.
Oh, all I saw was like the thumbnail of a guy shipping an AirTag to like, and it got sent to North Korea or something.
Yeah.
That.
So that guy got in. Well, he tried to ship to North Korea. It was rerouted to like South Korea, and then it was in like Beijing, and then it was sent to like 8 different countries, and then sent back to him. But that was all because of human error, and so they invited him out to the factory to show him what happened, which I thought was kind of interesting. But basically, what it is, there's a big conveyor belt, right? And there's a person standing there with a keyboard, and as these packages come up the keyboard, they grab the package, type in the address, and they slide it onto a tagged cart, and that cart takes it to the next place. And these packages are written in like, infinite different languages. It's in the hub in Germany, right? So everything gets shipped to Germany first. So it's in every single language from like that whole area.
Yeah. And
these people have to type in the name, put it in the tagged area within like, probably a second or two. So that's what makes the failure rate 8%. So that's why those AirTags went to South Korea instead of North Korea.
That's crazy that they don't just automate it. Is it really just for jobs or like
International Postal Corporation?
Dang. Huh. That's super interesting. Yeah. I guess I didn't think I always thought of USPS in a super like what is the international, what's like is there anything like truly bad coming out of it besides your package not getting to the right place 8% of the time?
I guess just like lawsuits and like audits going against all these companies get routed through the International Postal Corporation.
Okay, so it's
where
really
they kind of get drowned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if you have if you get hit by like a Royal Mail truck, then they probably handle your case and somehow like get you the least amount of money out of it. But
yeah. So it's not terrible, but it's just interesting how they regulate themselves. Anything where businesses are in charge of regulating themselves can be kind of iffy.
Totally.
But I mean, think packages won't get here on time.
Oh, my packages.
All right. Briefly, before we get to the grand finale, let's talk about Tate just real quick. I feel like we're just obligated to do this because we shouldn't even platform. I don't know. I have moral questions about whether we should even platform Andrew Tate. But I feel like as a finance podcast for teens, and his whole thing is getting like, teen boys to like make more money and stuff like that. I feel like we should address it just because it's such a big part of this. Yeah, Andrew Tate, this guy, maybe some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is cool and inspiring for boys, but I mean the guy's a sex trafficker, and he's innocent till proven guilty, sure, but he's literally talked about this. They're like clips of him talking about how he,
like openly
tricks girlfriends into thinking they're the only one, and then like flies them out, and then like pressures them into doing stuff for his webcam business. I mean, this was like years ago. He supposedly doesn't do it anymore. I don't know. That's just one of his sins. Of course, he's doing other terrible stuff too with his pyramid scheme that was just happening for a while, and all his other courses and shady ways of making money. I feel like he's just promoting the wrong things to his students. Like, I don't think this role model should be someone who's made their money off of pyramid schemes, webcam businesses, and I don't know. His kickboxing career, he didn't make money off of that.
Probably not.
He didn't. He literally said it himself. I was watching like a clip of this. He said kickboxers make like $150,000 per fight, which is a lot of money. It's nowhere near enough to get you to like 27 Bugattis and all the colors of the rainbow. um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, really, it's just not promoting good ways of making money at all.
Don't know.
I think in his course he was teaching copywriting or something. Great. Now 27 million people know how to copyright. What?
Yeah, no, it's like he was just diluting markets way too much, like beyond the point of return.
Like,
He
really,
did a bunch of other stuff like that too. That just nothing's gonna come from
I'm
it.
sure people don't come out of like a copywriting course being like master copywriters or anything and like super
No,
reliable. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The updates on him. Aiden Ross is the biggest dude. That guy, dude. Oh my gosh, he just rides
he went
Andrew
for
Tate
Jenna,
all
right? That's
day,
why you're
dude.
mad.
Huh? That is
He
why
went
I'm
for
mad.
Jenna, right? That's your
He has
issue
no
with him.
chance. He literally has no chance, dude. He's an Andrew Tate. You think Jenna would be down for an Andrew Tate like suck up boy? Like
For
no
the
shot.
bottom G.
Yeah, he literally is bottom G. Sorry, Aiden, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Tate's case. The thing is, he was talking. There's so many clips of him. There's one like specifically where he talks about why he likes Romania, and he says because he can live there and be in like the top echelon of society. He's like, I can just bribe people. I can just pay off the police. This guy's literally admitted a tax evasion. He says like, I evade taxes in the UK and then I go to Romania where the police come and I just pay off the police chief. So we'll see if that happens. And he's just, bragged so many times about literally like the corruption and how he can take advantage of it. It's like, dude, what are you promoting to these kids? Like bribing government officials so you can get out of crime. It's like, oh my gosh, he's a great guy. He's promoting so much good stuff. I love what an alpha male. Like, I don't know, man.
So I feel like they can't take like he won't be able to bribe his way out now because he's talked so much about it already.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but dude, his whole like, the whole Matrix thing is so cringe.
Escape the Matrix.
And all the people that are like, getting all his fans that are like, Andrew, he got captured by the Matrix. It's like, nah, he's just like a human trafficker and he's getting in trouble for it. It's like, there's no Matrix, bro. You're like, dude.
I know. Did you see the clip of him being arrested? And he's like, the Matrix has attacked.
So
did you see that? He like shouts it to the camera. And I'm like, dude, no. And then all the comments are like, if Tate dies, the Matrix killed him.
It's bad. I'm done talking about Tate. I don't even want to like exercise his. I don't want to like entertain his ideas because they're not legitimate. Some of the stuff he says is good, sure. Like that's like the things that like promote. I don't know, just hard work. That's about as good as stuff that comes from him. But I mean, bro, anyone can say like a couple good things, but then you human traffic and you're automatically a bad person. It's like, sorry. You can't like human traffic and I can just like forget
and be a good
that.
person. Yeah, no.
Sorry, doesn't go together.
Have you seen the videos of all of his cars getting towed?
Oh, like, they all go like impounded.
Yeah, like everything from his house got towed. There was like all the Porsches, like the M5, the 812, like all the crazy cars he had. Like I don't even know if they're his.
Well, maybe.
Are they? Like,
I don't know. Maybe he hadn't paid for them all in cash. Who knows if he has as much money as he says he does?
Well, you mean 200 billion?
200 gazillion doubloons. I don't know. All right,
schmeckles.
I think it's time. So we're actually for this bit we're going a little bit south of Romania. Wait, where's Romania? Yeah, we're going a little bit south of Romania. We're going to Turkey. For a massive hair transplant arbitrage opportunity. All right?
No way.
So, hair transplants, they're becoming more popular. All right? And, a lot of celebrities are getting them. And there's still that idea that there's a barrier to entry because in the United States, to get, your average hair transplant, I was getting my source was Meta hair transplant cost study. For 2,500 grafts, which is like, a healthy group of hair follicles or something like that, it's around in the US, the average cost is around $13,610. So there's obviously a barrier to getting a hair transplant when it costs that much. The thing is, this price, like all things, is not the same all around the world. And that is where I introduce this massive ARB opportunity. So in Turkey, guess how much the hair transplants cost in Turkey?
Mm, $400.
Okay, it's not that cheap, but the hair transplant in Turkey, the average cost is $2,675. So if you can do some quick math, that's way less. It's just it's a fraction of the cost as it is in the US. But I know what you're thinking. You know, yeah, it's $2,675.61 in Turkey compared to the, 14 grand it is in the United States. But then I have to go to Turkey, Who knows if the quality is as high? The thing is the quality is as high. Because it's so cheap, a lot of people are going to Turkey to get their hair transplants. And that gives the doctors there a lot of experience. Why is it cheaper? Because in Turkey, labor costs are cheaper. The cost of living is lower. There's more hospital space in Turkey for these doctors to operate in, and that all just leads to a drastically lower price. Of course, there are other countries where you can get hair transplants, but Turkey is the lowest, and they have a really good reputation for just like solid quality. So, it's cheaper, but then you have to go to Turkey. How much does a flight to Turkey cost? The flight
Oh,
is $1,000 for
oh,
economy. So you add
okay.
that onto the price, we're only looking at, just under 4 grand. But then you're like, huh, if I go to Turkey and I get a hair transplant and I need to fly back on my flight, will everyone just see me with my hair shaved and a ton of like bloody hair grafts all over my head? If you've ever seen pictures of like post hair transplant, it does not look good. It's like a jump scare for the first week after it.
Uh-huh.
So that's where I have another proposition, right? So first thing you can do is if you want, you can just fly business or first class so you have privacy on your flight back. But the thing is that's going to cost like 6 grand. Then you're at, around $9,000, which is still way cheaper than the United States is like 14K. But maybe that $5,000 isn't worth the effort of getting out to Turkey. This is where I think a better solution comes in. So after 10 days post hair transplant, it's safe to wear a hat or a covering over your head. You don't want to do it before that because you can make bald spots and like rip out the new hair grafts. So you need to wait some time. The thing is, the cost of living in Turkey is so low. My proposal is that you just go on a 10-day vacation in Turkey. All right. So for $500, you can just stay in Turkey. $500 is like gonna get you a very okay 10-day stay in Turkey. You're gonna eat well. You're gonna get a stay in a pretty nice hotel. It's just because it's like extremely cheap there. You can like rent out a room for like $20 a night, right? So
Mhm.
if you have the hair transplant, the economy flight, and the 10-day stay in Turkey, the lower end 10-day stay in Turkey, you're looking at $4,000, which is way low. It's like $10,000 lower than it is in the United States. The thing is, I think the way to go about this plan is you want to ball out, right? So you're flying to Turkey. Let's just have you live like a king in Turkey for 10 days while you're recovering from your hair transplant. So for only $2,000, maybe, throwing a little bit more, give or take $2,000, you can live like a king. Okay. I'm talking a nice, this is for 10 days, by the way, a nice, like, beachside, ocean view villa with your own, like, private pool and stuff. And you can get some of the best food you're ever going to have for extremely cheap. Just eat like a king, live like a king for 10 days for like $2,000. So we add
Huh.
that on, and then we're looking for a very high end stay, 6 grand, which is like less than half of what it would cost to just get your hair transplant in Turkey. I mean, in the United States. But you're also getting like a super nice vacation along with it. So I think there's no point in getting a hair transplant in the US if you have like a week to spare. Um, just go to Turkey, go on a vacation. All right. Massive hair transplant arb. Maseo, before I get your thoughts, here's my business proposition for this. All right.
Okay.
I think that if you set up a sort of business that basically bundles this all together, okay? You are the all-inclusive turkey hair transplant, the all-inclusive turkey hair transplant go-to group, all right? So maybe
Uh-huh.
you charge $7,000 or $6,900 for trolls. So you're making about, just over $1,000 just for organizing this, and then you can include other stuff like, transport to and from the airport, and insurance, and you can be an emergency contact in Turkey if anything goes awry. Just stuff like that to make it feel, make people in the United States feel more comfortable going to Turkey, even though Turkey isn't that sketch. But just in case, just to make people feel more comfortable doing this, you could charge like 7K. That's exactly half the cost as in the United States, but you get a nice 10-day vacation in the same quality of a hair transplant.
That's sweet.
It's massive arb. It's literally massive arb, dude.
Arb.
It's crazy. So the hair transplant arb. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people already go to Turkey to get their hair transplants. There are some groups that, like some clinics that set up all inclusive, like will take you to and from the airport. But I'm just like, of course you don't need to stay the 10 days, but I think to make the flight worth it, you might as well just stay there for a little vacation, and then you don't have to go on a plane and give all the other passengers a jump scare. You can just hang out in your private villa for, just under 2 weeks and just chill out.
Yeah. I'm so curious what that looks. Do I look this up, or is it
look
like
it up.
Horrifying?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's just
like post hair transplant photos. Oh, it's just like bloody.
Yeah. So those scab up, and then you can like rinse them off, and then you can wear stuff over your head. I think like 10 days after is what my research told me. 7 to 10 days it's safe to wear a hat over. 14 days some other things said, but so I just split the middle. I said 10 days for all these numbers.
Huh.
So I didn't know hair transplants were this accessible. If I ever start balding, I mean, I think the stigma is getting reduced around it a lot. But like a lot of people, like Elon Musk, have you seen that boy's hairline from like years ago? And do you see now? He got a hair transplant in Beverly Hills. Like if you dig into it a little bit. I think Gordon Ramsay's had literally everyone's, all these celebrities that are constantly in the spotlight, they've all had hair transplants, because all it is taking, these healthy hair follicle, I think they're called grafts, out of like healthy parts of your head, and they're moving them to the bald spots, and then they regrow back there, and then you have new ones in like spots where you're balding.
OP. That's a strat.
If you don't want to have to get a hair transplant, you can go to our sponsor, Keeps. This video is sponsored by Keeps. If you're experiencing
if you experience low testosterone,
if you're experiencing male balding patterns with it, so yeah, I mean, I think hair transplants are going to get a lot more popular. I think this is a massive arbitrage business opportunity. Maybe maybe teen finance hair transplants are the next big thing. Maybe we do the black. What do you think? Black card or the hair transplant? What's the bigger opportunity for us?
I feel like the hair transplant could be crazy. Like you can make deals with the hotels and stuff.
So I'm telling you. So if you make deals with the hotels / resorts where you're gonna send people and the clinics, you could probably reduce the price per person, or like maybe even make deals with airlines. I don't know. There's so much opportunity to make bulk deals and lower the price. So then you could be paying like 6K or something, and still making a good amount of profit just for organizing this.
Totally. And it's like, that's pretty low effort on your part too. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
like 4 phone calls.
You know what? Since lead gen is the new big thing.
I was
right?
about to say, maybe
could you almost just turn this into a lead gen business?
You 100% could, because you could just do it for like pre-existing places there.
Absolutely. So then you wouldn't have that like where we are like your, actually no, you could still do like the emergency contacting. I'm just thinking like, how Amex credit cards give you like a hotline to call in case you need anything. Have you heard the stories about like platinum card holders and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I was on the phone with them earlier.
yeah oh yeah early today for the black card.
right cool, we have black cards.
So it's the same thing. I was just saying that like that, but for your 1 week while you're in, just in case you need any help or anything like that, we have a contact in Istanbul to help you out. But if you want to go simpler, you could literally just do lead gen for these clinics and hotels and transport options, airline, anything like that. In Turkey, I think the lead gen opportunity is actually massive. So if you can buy like advertising space or like do really good search engine optimization for when people search up hair transplant, and then try to immediately expose them to how much money they get saved by doing it in Turkey, all the benefits of it. No, that could be huge. I like your lead gen idea. I think that's more different. It's definitely different. Like lead gen is lower effort, but you'll make less money. I think the opportunity for just going full on arbitrage, you're like facilitating this all, it could be really high, and you could start like a reputable business name, you know, if you're really like delivering great results.
Yeah, and I feel like people will go for it. I know what's it called? Like the fake teeth? Like the replacement, what are those called?
Like a veneer or like
Yeah,
a
veneer. Yeah,
or
yeah.
I don't now it's called like bonding. I don't know. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
Nate what
Oh,
he's gonna
dude.
get. For those who don't know, our buddy Nate chipped his 2 front teeth just in half. It's gone.
My 2 front teeth.
So we'll see how he does. Maybe there's so yeah, this exists for hair transplants. I'm sure this exists with other things like, you know, I guess the thing is the main reason this is good is because hair transplants aren't covered by your medical insurance. While maybe teeth chippings are
I
or
think maybe
aren't.
if you fall.
I chipped my tooth like the other day, and I think they sanded it down. It might have been covered under insurance, or
Was
it's
it
just like
covered?
exceptionally cheap. Because all they did was sand it down. There was no veneer or anything like that. I'm sure it'd be far more expensive if that was the case. So you might have to pay out of pocket. I mean, it's the United States. I feel like nothing is actually covered.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Even though you pay like so much.
the main reason I was thinking hair transplant versus like if you chip a tooth, it's an emergency. If it's really
That's
bad,
true.
you
It's
need
a
to
bigger
get it
deal.
fixed quick before your tooth gets infected and falls out.
Yeah.
So you don't really have that time to like plan a flight, a hotel stay, all that. Whereas the hair transplant, you can plan this 6 months in advance or something and get the lowest possible rates.
Yeah.
Other things like maybe like other just cosmetic upgrades like plastic surgery, that's a lot higher risk. So you can botch a plastic surgery pretty bad. Where hair transplants, you're literally just like moving hair follicles and they're really experienced in it. Plastic surgery, maybe you'd feel more comfortable doing it from like, you know, a reputable place in the United States. But if you could vet that in Turkey or some other foreign country, that could exist. But the idea stands. I'm using Turkey hair transplants as an example, but this arbitrage opportunity includes with all sorts of cosmetic upgrades in different countries outside of the United States or like the main like Western countries like Canada and UK and, you know, Australia, stuff like that.
Yeah. You know, on the topic of balding, I always had this question. So, do bald people do they use like do they still use shampoo or is it just body wash on their head?
I think you use it's shampoo because it's your scalp, right?
But
Isn't
but
shampoo like specialized
no, I
for
thought shampoo was just for your hair, like for like the oiliness of your hair.
They use like the head and shoulders scalp stuff, right?
Like the
They've
eight,
got to
no,
use.
it's
They
like
use
eight
head
in
and shoulders.
one.
100% they use head and shoulders. 100% that's what bald people use. You can't because that's like the
You think?
special like scalp stuff, or maybe there's like special bald person shampoo soap stuff. I don't know.
And 'cause I remember there was this whole thing like a couple years ago that Pitbull's like private assistant leaked that he puts like carnauba wax on his head before shows, like the stuff they use as car wax.
Really?
So he waxes his head before his shows.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder
I'll
if
ask my
just
uncle.
wax
He's
it.
bald.
You should ask him.
All right. This is a massively fun, dude. Whenever we get into arbitrage stuff, it gets me so excited. I don't know why.
I love me some good
Arbitrage.
arbitrage.
I love me some good. I don't know. What do you think is the bigger opportunity? I think okay, racehorse arbitrage was kind of a joke. This is a seriously
This is legitimate.
viable arbitrage opportunity, and people are already doing it. So I don't know. Maybe we explore this. I like how we say we're gonna
We're never gonna do
the teen finance black card, the teen finance hair transplants, teen finance, you know, narco sub, racehorse arbitrage. What else?
Oh, I had an idea for racehorse arbitrage. So instead of like trying to like do all these crazy ways around the border, we just take it in like a large like sprinter van or something. And when they open the door, we just tell them it's our dog. And then they're like, no, this is our pet. No, this is my pet dog. This is Bucky right here. And then they can try to fight it, but what they're gonna do is my dog. And then I give them papers that I paid someone to make in Mexico that say this is a dog.
Maybe you paint the horse with like paint it white with black spots. Like it's a Dalmatian, bro.
I should you put a top hat on it and you try to play it off as a person.
Racehorse arbitrage, man. That's massive opportunities there for real. Thing. All right. That's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed hair transplant arbitrage. I was really proud of that one. We got more
That's a good
bangers
one.
coming next week, so mark your calendars. I
Absolutely.
don't know. We'll see. It'll either be a normal episode, possibly a book, or we'll see.
I'll
Not
see
sure
if I have
yet.
time to grind out a book. But I have a little real estate thing I want to talk about next week. I
got-
think it didn't fit this episode, right?
I know. I like. Yeah, real estate probably didn't. This is just like a troll episode exploring
Yeah,
cults
no,
and
I have something
arbitrage
that's, like,
opportunities.
It's actually crazy. No, like you guys need to listen to next week because this
Wow.
is insane. Like,
Wow, I'm
not-
excited,
like,
dude.
I'm not even joking. This is like peak. This is peak teen finance right here.
And I think I got some other some massive. I got a massive investing opportunity that's hiding in plain sight. So that's all I'm gonna say. We've
Man,
been
the
building
next one's gonna
up
be
so much
crazy.
content over the past couple of weeks, and we're just both
All of our
dripping
book
wet.
reports.
It's crazy, dude. All right. We'll see. We'll see you soon. That's all.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well,
Gotta
Sam,
go.
Sam,
What?
say the thing.
I did. I said mark your. I snuck it in earlier, dude.
Okay.
I'm-
Okay. I was stressing out, dude.
Dude, this is a new game I'm gonna do every week. I'm gonna try to sneak in the mark your calendars so that Maseo doesn't notice. And if you call me out on it, then I win. All right, but
No,
call
okay,
me out
okay.
on it if you genuinely believe I didn't do it, because we can't miss a week too. So I'm gonna
that'd be
try to sneak it
terrible.
in, but I did sneak it in this week earlier. All right,
Okay.
we'll see you
All right.
later.
See you
Bye
guys. Bye.